Hello all and welcome to the April 13th Lunch and Learn. We are so excited to have with us here today Molly Terry from the Latino Economic Development Center. We are thrilled to hear more about LEDC services for small businesses. And without any further ado, I'm going to pass it over to Molly. Thank you so much for being here with us.
Thank you, Caroline, and thanks for the introduction. Hello, everyone. My name is Molly Terry, and I'm a small business coach for the DC area at LEDC. I've been working at LEDC for a little bit over a year now, and so a lot of what I do is help small businesses who are looking to get started, or maybe they've been operating and they're looking to grow their businesses. So I'm going to start just by giving a brief overview of LEDC. So we have offices in DC, Wheaton, Baltimore, PG County, Arlington, and also Mayagüez, Puerto Rico. And so a lot of what we do is we're a nonprofit CDFI, so a community development financial institution. And our mission is to equip Latinos and other underserved communities with the skills and financial tools to create a better future for their families and communities. So we support our communities in various ways. One is through our small business programs, which I'll get into a little bit more today, but also through housing programs. So anything for, we have tenant services and home ownership. We help educate people for who are looking to buy their first homes, for example. So really we try to cover the full spectrum for people in these areas. Okay, and what I want to start with, so I'm going to start by discussing our Food Venture Initiative cohort, which is something that we will be launching, I believe, in the summer. We're still kind of finalizing the dates, but I just want to give you a brief overview of what's coming. So I'll start with this one, since I know Caroline wanted to specifically hit on the programs for food businesses. And then after that, I'll go to just our more general services and some of our loan programs as well. So yes, so to get started, the Food Venture cohort is going to consist of, it's kind of an intensive program that will consist of 4 workshops. It will include topics like finance, marketing, restaurant operation, and licensing. Another thing that the program will include is the food manager course and certification. So we do have a contact who, she's very well versed in this program. And so the goal is for the members of the cohort to take that course and get the certification. And another good thing about that is if you're selected for the cohort, the cost of that course will be covered. So that is something we're really excited to be able to do. In addition to that, members of the cohort will receive one-on-one technical assistance. So just any other questions they might have about starting that food business and, maybe getting the licenses, registration, things like that, we'll be offering assistance for that. And then one of the goals is that if you graduate, so, meaning you participate in all of those workshops and get the certification, then you will be eligible for 6-month access to a commercial kitchen at no cost to you. So that is something we're really excited to announce. And in addition to that, you'll receive 2 hours of financial literacy to provide you access to our credit building and seed loans, which I'll get into later. So basically, who we're looking for in this cohort are food entrepreneurs who are in the beginning stages. So maybe they've started operating, maybe they haven't, but overall they have a very strong sense of their business and their idea and have started to build that out. Ideally they've started the registration process, they have a good sense of what they need, but they're just looking for the next step. And so this program is really there to give those food entrepreneurs access to the certification, to technical assistance, and to the access to the commercial kitchen where they can start to prepare the food and really start operating. And so how you can apply for this, so there's a form, and I'll send a link in the chat in just a moment, but there's an info request form that we're asking interested clients to use, and you'll just go through and fill out that with your contact information and a little bit more about your idea. And you can expect to hear back in about a month. So we're still developing this program, and my colleague Carlos Velasquez. He's heading up this program, so I have his information on this slide. But he will be kind of going through that form, and that's what he's going to use to create the cohort. So this will be a somewhat competitive program to get into, and we are still working in numbers in terms of size of the cohort and things like that. But essentially for now, if you're interested, or if you know any food entrepreneurs who are interested, just have them fill out this form, and they can expect to hear back in about a month. And the goal is to get this started sometime this summer. Let's see here. So I'll go ahead and let's see. After I present, I'll put the link in the chat. That might be a little bit easier. But so far, does anyone have any questions about that? I know that's kind of a lot of information in one slide. And Caroline, if you see any questions in the chat, let me know. It's hard to see it in presenter mode.
Well, we can also take some more time for questions at the end, but one question that has come up is how big will the cohort be?
So that is a great question. Again, we're still finalizing those numbers, so we don't quite have that information just yet. But once we do, we'll announce that.
Well, wonderful. Encouraging everyone on the call to spread the word and to apply if applicable to you. Thanks so much. Keep on going, Molly. I'll gather questions for the end. Okay,
great. Thanks, Caroline. Right. So I'm going to give just a general overview of our other programs. So again, that one was specifically for food entrepreneurs in the DC area, but we also have other small business programs for any type of business in the DMV area. And one of them is it's called our business advice program. So this is where so I work specifically in this program. Any of our business coaches provide business advice through this program. So this is a program that we have at no cost to our clients, and we offer technical assistance with business plans, marketing plans, licenses and permitting. We also have a program for credit counseling to help clients who, maybe they want to improve their personal credit. So in addition to helping them get their businesses started or further developed, we also help with personal credit counseling. And I'll get into this in a little bit, but we also have a loan to accompany that program. And to apply for this program, we have a business advice form that I'll also include in the chat after I present. And basically, clients who are interested in this can just complete that form, and my colleague Michael will contact them within 3 to 5 days, usually faster than that, to assign them a business coach, depending on the area that their business is going to be started in. And then that's when they can receive that technical assistance. All right, and then a little bit about our loan programs. So I'm going to give a brief overview. So we offer several different types of loan programs ranging from $1,000 to $250,000 with interest rates as low as 0%. So we have, let's see here, and I'll include the link to our flyer as well after this. But we have a seed loan and a startup loan and a growth loan for businesses. And so depending on the stage that your business is in, you'll fall into one of those categories. And for most of the loans, the maturity is between 6 months all the way up to 10 years. And again, our flyer kind of breaks it down a little more specifically based on your business stage. And the requirements to apply for that loan is you'll have to fill out our intake form, and then we have a loan application. And we'll also ask for some supporting documentation, so the last 6 months of business and personal bank statements, the last 2 years of business and personal tax returns. If you're a new business and you're applying for a seed loan, you obviously won't have those business bank statements or tax returns, in which case you'll just need to upload your personal. And so again, our flyer will break that down for you. We do have collateral requirements for our loan programs, and there's an application fee of $50. So for the business loans, the uses can be applied for anything. You can use the funds for working capital, equipment and vehicle acquisition is a common one, inventory, and then renovation work. So those are just some of the common uses of our loan funds. And then a separate loan program that we have, so the small business loans are pretty much broken into 3 programs depending on your business stage, but we also have a women's small business loan. And so this one is a newer program that has a 0% fixed interest rate, which is awesome. We're very excited to be able to offer that. The maturity of that loan is 3 years and it's up to $2,500. So this one, we have business and personal bank statements. The last 3 months will be required, and then the last year of business and personal tax returns. So there's a little bit less documentation involved in that one. There are no collateral requirements for that loan program, and then no application fee or closing fee. And then the way that we define women-owned small business for this program is that you just must be at least 51% owned by a woman. And the uses for that loan program are somewhat general. So it can be a general expansion, or that's something that you discuss with that loan officer. But for the most part, it's pretty general. Okay, and then for both of these loan programs, whether it's just a general small business loan or the women's small business loan, we have an inquiry form that you will complete, and then my colleague Michael will contact you to connect you with the loan officer and kind of move forward in the process. So again, I'll also include those links at the end of the presentation. And then, as I kind of mentioned earlier, we offer those business loans. We also offer consumer loans. So part of the business advice program is we'll do credit counseling, and this is the loan that accompanies that program. So some clients that receive credit counseling for us, we evaluate that they're loan ready and they decide they want this loan. Others, not so much. They're just more interested in general credit counseling. So we kind of assess that in the beginning. But if the client is ready for a credit loan, we have our Credit First loan and our Resilience loan. And the main difference is that the Credit First is for clients who do not have credit yet, so they have not established credit and their credit invisible. And then the Resilience loan is if you have previously established credit, but you're just looking to improve it. The Credit First loan is up to $1,000. It's a 0% fixed interest rate, and you do receive one-on-one technical assistance with that, so that we can, our coaches can help you through that application process, but also help you, know how to use the funds and how to make those payments in order to establish your credit. And then the Resilience loan is up to $2,500, so a little bit more. And also a 0% fixed interest rate, and then the same one-on-one counseling. Both programs ask for the last 3 months of personal bank statements. And that's from any bank accounts, checking, savings, any accounts that you have. And then a government issued photo ID, and then there's no application fee or closing fee for either program. So that's something that we're excited to offer as well. And again, there's another loan inquiry form for this program. So each loan program has a separate inquiry form, and I'll include all of those at the end. Okay. Yes, and so these are the links that I'm about to send in the chat. And yeah, that's the end. So it's a lot of information in one small time period, but I just wanted to get all that out and then have some time to answer questions. So let me know if you have any questions.
Right. Well, one question that's just come through in the chat, and I want to encourage everyone to drop their questions in the chat. And if you are having trouble with the chat, or you would like to ask them more anonymously, feel free to direct message them to either me, Caroline Howe, or my colleagues at the InnoEd login here as well. So the first question, Molly, that came in was from Chris. Do you focus exclusively on personal credit, or can you help build business credit as well?
Sure. So that's a good question. For this credit program, it is focused on personal credit. So that we mainly just focus on personal credit counseling. However, if you do apply for one of our business loans, we report to all the main credit bureaus, so it will help improve your business credit as well. But the program is not focused on counseling for business credit. And let me know if that answers your question.
Sounds like it did. Chris, if you have any other follow-ups, feel free to drop them in the chat, or we can give folks a chance to unmute. Does anyone else have any questions? Give it a moment here. You're also welcome to give folks an option to unmute if you're in a situation where unable to type, but interested in asking a question. Well, while we give folks a minute to come up with it, oh, great question, Chris. Chris, I assume that this is for the kitchen, the food business program that you were describing, the food venture initiative cohort. Chris is asking, where is the kitchen that you'll be working with?
Mm-hmm. So one of the kitchens that we're working with now is Tastemakers, but we're also working on bringing a couple of other kitchens in as well. So we'll have a better sense of that in the next month, and then we'll be able to announce that. But right now we're still working on compiling or partnering with several different kitchens. But the one we're working with now is located in DC.
And thanks so much for that, Molly. Also, for everyone on the line, we are really excited to be hosting in partnership with LEDC this afternoon our Commercial Kitchen Matchmaking event. And that is happening at the MLK Library in Chinatown, accessible by the red, green, yellow lines. So are inviting folks to come for that event to be able to match with both existing shared commercial kitchens, as well as some smaller food businesses. And Chris's point, are any east of the river? That's certainly a goal both of LEDC, DSLBD, and the working group that we co-chair together, which is the Entrepreneurship and Food Jobs Working Group of the Food Policy Council. So there is certainly a goal to increase access to commercial kitchen space east of the river and to expand that ability to share kitchen space east of the river. So thanks for that question, Chris. Molly, I have another question on the LEDC Food Venture Initiative cohort. You mentioned that it was specifically for folks who had a pretty clear idea of their business, but had not yet started or fully registered. I'm wondering, are there, if you can talk a little bit about the other kinds of technical assistance that LEDC offers for businesses that might be a little bit farther along, who might have an existing business up and running?
Sure. So through our business advice program, we do offer business advice for businesses in all stages. So if you are a business that's been operating for 10 years, for example, but you're looking to improve your marketing, maybe you want to start a website or improve your website, or maybe you're looking to open a second location. There's really a wide range of things that we've assisted clients with. So it's not all just focused on startups. There's really no limitations to our business advice program. So if you're interested in that, it's still at no cost, and there's no limitations based on business stage. And so I'll go ahead and send the link to that as well. And I'm sending these one by one, so there's a lot of links in the chat.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate all of these links, and we will send them to everyone who registered for this workshop.
Great.
Let's see. One of the other questions, again, on the venture initiative, is that if folks are not able to participate in this cohort, are there other ways for folks to benefit from some of these the food managers classes and other things like that that LEDC offers?
Sure. So we do, again, this is a new cohort that we're doing this summer. So we do hope, if all goes well, that we'll be able to do something like that again in the future. But if for some reason, someone applies and they're not selected for the cohort, they can still access our assistance services through the business advice form. And maybe, we can come up with another day that we can offer that food safety management course, things like that. So we can, I would say the best way is just to contact us through that business advice form, and we can try to figure out a way to help the client one-on-one. One other thing that I meant to mention earlier is that if it's a business, food or not, that has not started yet and they're still developing their business idea, we do also offer a Launch Your Business boot camp that we actually just started this week. So that is a boot camp that's mainly for, it's a 4-course webinar series that we're offering each month. So it's once a week. The first series started yesterday and it's through April, and then we'll do it again in May. And I'll send the link to that as well. But that's mainly for idea stage businesses that are looking to develop that idea further.
Great, thank you so much. So Molly, I know that part of this, another question that came in is, you know, we've had folks during this time very interested in grants. Why are loans helpful to pursue at the same time as applying for grants? And in particular, since this is many of LEDC is also a part of the Nourish DC initiative, along with many other partners, which is offering some grants as well as some loan products. So I'm wondering if you can touch on this balance of how businesses can think about both grants and why loans are also beneficial.
Yeah, that's a great question. So of course, ideally, most people want grants because those are, you don't have to pay those back. But a good thing to remember about loans is that is going to help you establish business credit, which can be really useful in the future if you're looking for space or anything like that. It's good to have that business credit being built. And so that's one thing that we encourage clients to do, is not to shy away from loans simply because you have to pay them back. They can actually be pretty beneficial from a credit standpoint, but applying for that in combination with the grant, if you can get a grant, obviously that's a more ideal situation, but don't shy away from loans simply because you're having to pay them back. So I don't know if that answers your question really, but definitely when it comes to business financing, that can be the toughest part for business to start. So we encourage clients to apply for any type of financing that they can get access to. One thing to just keep in mind with loans is it can help you establish that business credit, but they can be competitive to get to, and that's where you would want to apply for those grants as well.
Yeah, thanks for that, Molly. One other thing, especially given the kinds of credit building loans that LEDC offers, is that fundamentally there are, in order to access larger lines of capital when you're making that bigger investment in your business, having really good credit is what's going to help you with that, as well as can be a factor when you're looking at leasing spaces and accessing, perhaps purchasing a future restaurant. So it is just so beneficial to be thinking about that mix. And it is so incredible that, as you shared earlier, that balance of really small building up to those larger lines of capital. So thanks for that question. We have time for one more question. If anyone on the line has one or would like to unmute to ask. Okay, well, thank you so much, Molly. Before we head out, are there any last thoughts that you want to make sure that folks know about LEDC?
Yeah, so I would say, again, I know that was a lot of information, but another way, if you are just trying to access it all in one place, our website is laid out pretty well. And so that's a great resource if you're looking for more information on each of these programs. The links that I sent are mainly to the actual application form or interest form. But if you just want more information, our website does do a good job of explaining these programs. And another thing, if you'll be at the Commercial Kitchen event today, I will also be there. I plan on getting to the library around 2. So if you have other questions, I'll be there to answer them. But yeah, I'll also put my email in the chat if you do have any specific questions about what I discussed today. Just feel free to send me a message and I will get back to you as soon as I can.
Excellent. And again, Molly, thanks for that shout out about this afternoon. For any of you on the call, We do encourage you to join us this afternoon. The kitchen matchmaking event is going to be an incredible opportunity to re-network, connect with other food businesses, connect with our colleagues from LEDC, technical assistants from DSLBD, as well as the administrators of the Nourish Fund. If you do have questions about what that grant program looks like, they will be here this afternoon as well. So as well as a number of commercial kitchens that are open to sharing kitchen space with new businesses. So really hope you come by. That begins this afternoon from 4 to 6, although we will have technical assistance providers here from now onwards. So make your way over to MLK and register for this afternoon's event at the link bit.ly/kitchen matchmaking. Thanks again, Molly, for joining today.
I apologize. This William with Marty's. Where at on
Okay.
MLK is that? Where is that on MLK that's taking place at to come sign up?
Thank you so much, Chef Weaver, for that question. We are at the MLK Library. That is at 916 G Street by in Chinatown. So I will, I'm sorry, 901 G Street. And so I will drop that address in the chat. And the MLK Library is the headquarters of the DC Public Library. So we're thankful to the DC Public Libraries for hosting us. Every week, we are here every Wednesday from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. with a lunch and learn every Wednesday from noon to 12:30 that you can join us for a live stream of in person. So thanks for that question, Chef Weaver. Looking forward to seeing some of you this afternoon. All right, with that, I'm going to end our recording.